In the newest comic series Darth Maul, we've been given so far 4 issues, all of which are canon and each one more interesting than the last. The comic starts out with Maul just before the events of the Phantom Menace, as he has this lust for Jedi blood.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
You have been well trained, my young apprentice.
Now at this point in the timeline, Maul has gone through years of training, torture, and Sith values brainwashed into the very core of his being, making him truly a Jedi-killing machine. Sidious had forced Maul to stay in hiding for all these years until he felt he was ready to be unleashed to the Jedi, after the Sith had been invisible for about 1,000 years. The comics start off with Maul having this massive hunger for Jedi blood, where he knows he shouldn't be wandering the galaxy in pursuit of Jedi, but alas, his temptation gets the best of him. Finding an underground black market bid of a young Jedi Padawan named Eldra Cadis, between numerous gangs and clans who want to purchase her, he eventually tracks down the highest bidder with his team. Now, for a second, I want you to check this team out. It seems like there's a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe going on here. Now, some of you may recognize these team members from the Clone Wars, and one of them is Cad Bane, a lethal bounty hunter who's like a Wild West cowboy of the galaxy. As Maul takes out the Jedi's purchaser and his team, the Padawan notices how he refrains to use a lightsaber and that he can't fool her. Maul actually throws his cloak on top of the enemy and uses the Force to choke him with it.
The robe, it's constricting, smothering him.
Boarding the ship, they set course to get out of there before the other bidders find out what had just happened. As luck would have it though, as they leave, they're shot down by Zev Zrexis, the lady in charge who opens a new bid, only this time much different. Crash landing back on the planet, the team decide to diverge. Now all the thugs and gang members had to fight for the Padawan and could kill the team that stole her. You can tell this comic is gonna get fun. On the moon of Drazkil, Maul says,
"They're hunting all of us. We'll split up."
As they diverge to dilute the enemy onslaught, Maul and Eldra walk alone, ready for an ambush. During this time, he thinks to himself,
I have been wrong. All this time I thought it was anger, a hunger for vengeance against the accursed Jedi that compelled me onward. Those desires are part of me. Yes, I will see the Jedi pay for what they did to the Sith. But I am not driven by those feelings. It is anticipation that moves me to my inevitable goal. It is excitement.
She tells him that she can help if he just removes her restraints, immediately doing so and handing back her lightsaber. She ignites it alongside his dual blades, telling him that the Force will be with him, where he epically and snarkily replies,
Spare me. I do not need your Jedi platitudes. The Force is always with me.
As they dance in the night with their blades back to one another, protecting each other's vulnerability, he thinks to himself how she must have sensed his power, and how he senses no fear within her. This is where we see Maul slightly conflicted, even if he doesn't admit it. As he respects her powers, he quickly dismisses it by telling himself it'll be glorious to take her life.
She is watching me. I know. Taking my measure.
As they defeat the first wave of the enemy, she questions why the Sith show up now, and why he's being so secretive with his powers in front of the others. As they continue to converse, learning more about one another, Maul begins to get broken into by the girl. She questions his fear, what he's afraid of, or rather, who. Maul begins to admit that he feels the anger within her, finally admitting that if it were another time and another place, he could have tempted her to the dark side, how she could become an ally. As they finish the men, she tells him that they don't have to be enemies, and that they can work things out. Telling that Maul is disappointed by her timidness, she quickly retracts her sentence and tells him that was his last chance to back down before his doom. As he says,
The same chance your Jedi predecessors gave the Sith.
Squaring off against one another, each with lightsabers ignited. Blue and red coloring the night sky. Maul crouches to leap, whispering,
At last.
And that's the end of this 4th issue. Now you guys are all caught up pretty much with issues 1 to 4. So while we wait until the 5th one comes out, I'd highly recommend you go out and grab a copy of this. They're really awesome to collect. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you want me to continue the story when issue 5 does come out, hit like or comment your approval below. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos, and I really like all the emails and the messages and everything that you guys send me. It's a truly amazing feeling. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day or night, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you always.